everybody, this is Chloe from Veggie Magnifique, and this week we have a special guest, Arnold de Souza, who is a health coach. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Chloe.
Well, it was a timely moment to have you on Veggie Magnifique TV because we've just finished our 6-month health coaching together, and I wanted to explore all of the fantastic things that we've achieved together over the 6 months, just to kind of dive in a little bit deeper into what health coaching actually is, using me as an example. So I originally signed up for health coaching with Arnold to lose my baby weight, and it actually turned into so much more than that. It was interesting how I came for the weight loss but actually achieved a whole kind of holistic higher level of health that I couldn't have really imagined for myself. So it was really interesting to have that exterior input from a health professional such as you to help me to kind of like break that glass ceiling, as it were, on my health. And I've always kind of in the past wanted to go it alone in terms of making improvements to my health, but I really found that this time having somebody there as accountability and also somebody who's so knowledgeable to just kind of guide me, and with the bi-monthly meetups, knowing that I had that accountability with you and that I was going to get expert guidance on every aspect of my health was really, really powerful for me.
Yeah, Chloe, I think that's a very important point because we could only get so far alone. And I want to remind people that there's no shame in asking for help if you're struggling with health issues or if you want to optimize your lifestyle. I think that working with a professional can really help you identify what you really want to achieve and build a roadmap to get you there.
So we're going to explore the 5 major things that we achieved in the 6 months of health coaching together. So before working with Arnold, I was already vegan, and I don't know about you, perhaps if you're watching this, maybe you're vegan too, or vegetarian, or you've drastically reduced your meat and dairy consumption, and if so, we salute you, you're already a world changer. But maybe you're slightly worried sometimes that you're getting everything in your diet that you really need, and you above all want to have rock solid nutrition so that you can prove those naysayers wrong. So that was a really interesting thing that we worked on together, was that we really tweaked my plant-based diet to optimize it.
I think it's useful for people to remember that nutrition is a vast field of study, and there's a lot of things to consider when you're trying to optimize your diet. And my work really is to distill all that information and to make it into practical and actionable steps to help my clients reach their goals. So by removing the dross and the confusion, people can actually get not only to a point where they're functioning on a plant-based diet, but where they're really thriving. And that's my goal.
And that's really huge because there's so much misinformation out there about the vegan diet, because there are a lot of people who have vested interest in people not going vegan. So it's really great to have somebody like you who's unbiased and has all of the knowledge, and it's the cutting edge knowledge as well, because nutritional science is always, making progress, isn't it?
Yeah, the field of nutrition is really evolving, and what is problematic in this field is that a lot of people don't really go to what the science is saying. It's more about picking a camp and just sticking to those arguments without really investigating for yourself and doing your own research and figuring out what's going to work for you.
The second massive thing that we achieved together during the 6 months of health coaching was to instill a rock solid exercise practice every single day. And for me, it was a case of finding the shoe that fits. And I think it's the same for everybody, to find really the exercise that they love, that won't feel like a burden to have to do it every single day. For me, it's yoga and bodyweight exercises, and I look forward to doing my exercise every morning, and it's become really part of my morning ritual, and I feel kind of odd and off if I don't do it, and that has been a super duper game changer for me because it has massive effects on my mood, and it's just that kind of like ironing out all the creases and everything when you get up in the morning, which feels so good. It was an effort at first to kind of remind myself to do it every day, and then after sort of 21 days, the habit forming thing that takes 21 days, it became a habit, and then after the 21 days, it's now my lifestyle to exercise every single day, and that has been super powerful.
Yes, exercise is definitely a key component of a healthy lifestyle. And the truth is that most people don't move enough, and the recommendations for daily exercise are usually under what it should be. And exercise is not only about losing or maintaining a specific weight, it also helps with mental and cognitive function, it helps boost your immunity, it can help with your sleep, it helps extend your lifespan. It's really something that's important to integrate for anyone who's trying to optimize their lifestyle.
And I've managed to achieve this despite having a 10-month-old baby at home, and now he is part of my exercise regime. I think he looks forward to it as much as I do. He would feel kind of off if I didn't do my morning exercise as well, and he gets involved. Like, I use him as a weight, you know, when I do my lunches.
Functional workout.
Functional workout. He climbs all over me when I'm doing child's pose. It's fantastic. The third truly life-changing thing that we achieved in the 6 months together was to sift through my limiting beliefs. And now some of these were so deeply ingrained that I didn't even know that they were beliefs anymore. I thought they were facts. And the fact of kind of digging into them and kind of exploring them and seeing where they came from and examining them and then to finally transcend them was a game changer. So for example, I've always had this limiting belief that I'm disorganized, and I realized working with Arnold that it was a belief. It's not part of my personality. I can actually transcend that and become an organized person. So how I did that was to write on a post-it note, I am organized. And I stuck it on my bathroom mirror, and it was there for 6 months. So I would see it multiple times a day, I am organized. And I think that even if I wasn't engaging with it or reading it out loud or saying it to myself in my head, just seeing that on my bathroom mirror every day changed my subconscious. And I do feel more organized today.
Yes, that's very interesting, Chloe. I really think that a powerful mindset is your secret weapon when it comes to transformation. So if you don't have a resilient mind, and if you don't have a positive mindset about what you're trying to achieve, real, profound, deep transformation and lasting transformation is just impossible. So part of my work, and you know this, is integrating some readings and really trying to get to work on that resilient mindset, how we can develop that, and then everything else follows from there.
Absolutely, yeah. Arnold had some fantastic book suggestions for me during the 6 months together, and I'm a big reader. I love books, and anytime somebody who I respect like Arnold suggests a book to me, I'm like, yeah, I'm all over it. I'm listening to it on Audible, I'm ordering it on Amazon and just like swimming in it. And you suggested one called The 6 Pillars of Self-Esteem, and I can't recommend this book enough to all of our readers and listeners. It's really powerful, and a bit of tough love there in that book. But
sometimes that's useful.
Sometimes that's good, yeah. The fourth major thing that we achieved over the 6 months together, and it's another holistic health thing, it's not necessarily related to nutrition or exercise, but it's made all the difference, was to look at emotions and to find tools to work through emotions rather than letting them kind of wash over me and affect my behavior around food or hydration or exercise, for example. Pinpointing what is that emotion and exploring it and breathing into it, living it, rather than kind of resisting it and kind of pushing it down, say with food. And that has been really empowering, I have to say.
Yes, the truth is that for most people, emotions are scary.
Yeah.
And from my experience, a lot of people don't know how to properly identify which emotions they're feeling and how to process those emotions. And the reason why emotions is a key part of the work that I do with my clients is because there's a definite link, as you said, between emotions and our dietary choices. So the way you feel affects the foods you eat, and vice versa, okay? The food you eat can also affect your mood. So omitting the emotional side of things and the emotional link between foods and the way you feel is missing a big part of the puzzle.
So through working with Arnold, I noticed that actually I was living with this kind of mild anxiety that was kind of bubbling along under the surface. And through kind of discussing this and using the tools that Arnold gave me, I managed to pinpoint that and move through it and then kind of move on to the next thing, which has been ever so powerful.
Yeah, one practical thing that people can do when they feel like upset or emotionally unstable or uneven would be to keep in mind that it's never a good idea to eat when you're feeling angry. It's never a good idea to eat when you're feeling sad or even it's not a good idea to eat when you're feeling overjoyous. So keeping in mind that extreme emotions are often associated with poor eating choices.
And you often encouraged me to take deep breaths before sitting down to a meal to allow me to gain that equanimity, as you say, and like to come into the present moment and not be kind of assailed by these strong emotions while eating.
What you said, Chloe, is very true, and I totally agree with that. And this is what sets health coaching apart, is that it's not all about the food. It's also about how you feel, it's about your emotions and how to deal with them and how they can help you make better choices.
So over the 6 months, I lost 7 kilos in weight. Hooray!
Yay! Victory!
I am thrilled to have achieved that, but I have to say it's taken 5th place on my list because when I started health coaching, it was my priority. But as we moved through it and I achieved so many holistic improvements in my health, it actually kind of took a backseat in terms of the importance. The mindset and the emotional things actually made more of a difference to me in terms of my overall happiness than being a certain number on a scale.
Yeah, first of all, congratulations on your weight loss.
Thank you.
It's fantastic. It's a great achievement and something to celebrate. But I'd like to remind your viewers that equating weight with health is not always a good idea, because you can be in your ideal weight range or BMI and still be unhealthy. I'd like to encourage people to really focus on building a fulfilling life instead of just being overly focused on the weight or number on the scale. And that necessitates that you examine your relationships, your career choices, your exercise levels, and also your spirituality or mindfulness practice. So health does not equate with weight. Okay, it's much more than that.
So Arnold, I just wanted to thank you for the wonderful help that you've provided for me over the last 6 months in taking my health to the next level. And as a token of my appreciation...
Wow, thank you very much.
Some walnuts. These are homegrown. As viewers will know, I've been in the south of France this past week. So yeah, that comes from chez nous in the south of France.
Fantastic. I love walnuts. Trust me, I'll make good use of it.
All right. So thank you, Arnold, so much for coming on Veggie Magnifique TV this week.
Thank you very much for having me, Chloe.
And if your interest has been piqued by this interview, then certainly contact Arnold at arnoldesouza.com and we will link his website below.
Yes, definitely reach out to me on my website and sign up for a free consultation where we explore your health goals. And also I want to mention that for all Veggie Magnifique viewers, I'm happy to offer a 10% discount on my 6-month program.
And also keep in mind that the first consultation with Arnold is free and there are no strings attached. So if you're curious about health coaching, then definitely sign up for the free consultation. If you've liked this interview, then please give it a thumbs up and share in the comments below what your main takeaway has been. And we will catch you next week on Veggie Magnifique TV. Bye!
That's close matcha.
Oh, go for it. I don't
sorry.
mind. No, I don't mind.
Matcha theft!
I'm rocking an Annie style.
Hey!